Welcome to another edition of In the Weeds with Ikard and Lehman, presented by Riverwind Casino. Riverwind is Oklahoma City's premier casino experience, and there are so many reasons why Riverwind is consistently voted OKC's number one casino. But it all starts with their amazing variety of gaming thrills and excitement. Riverwind's beautiful, award-winning environment plays host to more than 2,800 of the latest electronic games, with a huge selection of table games, including blackjack match roulette, and Teddy's favorite, craps. No matter what your game, Riverwind has it in spades and hearts. And to learn more about their gaming promotions and entertainment options, all you got to do is visit riverwind.com. Riverwind Casino, good times, great rewards. Time to look at some of Ben Arbuckle's run game and how he builds off of it, Ted. Let's go.
Let's do it. There's some good stuff here.
So we're going to do three or four of these about Ben Arbuckle's offense, but this first video is gap scheme runs. He's got a lot of different gap scheme runs and also some things that he builds off of those gap scheme runs. So this first one is we're going to look at a GT counter to the tight end with some unique action in the backfield, which is pretty fun. But the first element is Ben Arbuckle is a big pre-snap motion guy. He uses a ton of pre-snap motion. And here, Ted, what happens when the defense doesn't move when you go in motion?
Well, you typically end up short somewhere.
You also, as an offensive player, if you know a guy's going in motion and no one really moves, it's a red flag. It typically, I always thought like, hey, if we motion and the defense stays still for the most part, here comes some type of pressure. That's kind of how I always viewed it. It's like, wait, they're not adjusting at all. That's strange. And that's what you got here from Texas Tech, bringing the corner from the boundary. Now, when you get to this look, it's GT counter. So you're going to leave two for the pullers. So the corner doesn't run. So he's going to be one. And then this backer is going to be two. This tight end for Washington State does a really nice job of collecting. You've got this deuce block here between the guard and tackle going to the backside backer. You've got the back block here, and then you've got your first pulling guard, who's the kick out guy, and then you've got your tackle inserting as the second puller for the GT counter as this guy kind of flows to the play. But it's a good looking play. The corner for Texas Tech doesn't play it, the way that doesn't have the recognition, Ted, you're looking for. But how about this backfield? How about the action from the running back here?
I love it. I think it's awesome. You've got a play going, to the offense's left, but because of the backfield action, you're able to, and I know they've got a corner blitz here coming, so it's a little bit different, but you get to hide that mesh if it's a defensive end that's trying to play it's just hard to see what's going on there. Plus, you're able to add some RPO action on the front side of it with the quarterback, or I guess actually on the back side of it with the quarterback, where he can look and he sees those players defending wide with that wide motion. So he hands it and they crease him. I think it's a really cool designed play.
It looks like Mateer's got his eyes on that edge defender. And as that guy widens with the action that way, then that's his indicator to hand it off. That's how it looks to me.
Right.
So if that guy was to run, like get in the hip pocket, because some teams run with pullers, like, hey, chase the pullers. My assumption is that if that defensive end got in the hip pocket of the right tackle, then he would throw the swing to the motion guy. And that would be their answer to that. So there's a lot of decision making on the quarterback in this offense, but it looks like it's a pretty clear, hey, read this one guy, hand it if he widens, if he doesn't, throw it out there, and we'll get our guy the ball in space. That's how it looks to me, Ted. I think that, and it's always good to have answers.
Mm-hmm.
Always good to have answers depending on what the defense does. Now, you do want to have just some give it runs. There's no doubt about it, but this is a pretty clear read for Mateer if what we're assuming and is how this thing is playing out. That's a nice run.
Now, let me ask you a question. First puller that's coming through. Okay, he's got the corner on the blitz. If that and he takes a really good path. Like you don't always adjust your path if the guy's going to run himself out of the play. So what should he do? Should he, if he knows that guy's too wide, should he just path of the run's going to take care of that guy and I should just continue downfield? How do you typically handle that?
Number one, be an athlete. Be an athlete. Let's see some redirect. You can see right here his original assignment before this guy goes in motion, right? You game plan, okay, what's the picture going to look like? And I'm sure that they game planned, hey, they run with the motion guy. Then you would think that defensive end is going to be the contained player. And then that tight end would go, he'd work up to that front side backer.
Mm-hmm.
And you would have the kick out guy, because normally when you're pulling on counter, you're thinking, I am kicking out the end man on the line of scrimmage when you're the first puller. So this is really him. You can see his eyes, how he's got him where the edge player would be. The tight end collects him and does a great job of just watch how far this guy washes this guy. I mean, just takes him all the way to like, if he doesn't run him into another tech guy, he's taking him all the way to like the backside A. That's really good from 87 for Washington State. And you can see the crease that it creates. That's what you're looking for. And I just think he's adjusting his eyes right there. Once he sees the tight end on the edge player, he needs to get his eyes out to the edge, because he knows if that guy's inside in that gap, there's got to be someone responsible for the outside gap. The corner, if he would have come tighter and done a better job, he probably gets a piece of him. So not going to be too critical. But this guy he's having to adjust on the fly. And could he have done it a little quicker and looked a little more athletic? Sure. But the corner, he runs himself out of the play.
Yeah. I like all the action, blocked well, good read by the quarterback, good run. I love the design of it. The defense is totally screwed up here, which, it's a great play call for what they have. Even if the corner does what he should and shuts it down and, engages that first puller. And here's how it typically works. It's not always, but the blitzer is usually the outside, turns everything back in. And, sometimes you can have a guy knife it and come underneath, but typically you would have it so he would engage that first puller. So the corner right there is outside the first guy. Mike Backer would come and be outside the second guy. And this guy right here, who's misaligned from the beginning, should move whenever that guy goes across, because I think they're 3 under 3 deep here, or maybe it's 4 under 3 deep, and they're dropping this defensive end. And he's got a short side here, a nub side. He should be a C7 player and be active in the run fit. And his angles are really bad. You see him late on the adjustment, late on the run, and because of that, isn't able to make the play.
What do you think happens? They're even.
He's got a pretty good head of steam. The running back does. Going to be hard to catch him.
Oh, no. Oh, get the legs. Oh, well, the second guy will get him, surely, right? Surely the second guy will get him. Get the legs.
Nice run. I love that design.
Cougars.
It's really cool. That's a really cool play.
Yeah, good stuff. All right. Here you get, this is a good look at the backfield action, kind of what a linebacker would be seeing. He goes behind the quarterback. You talk about a lot for your eyes to process as one of those backers or a safety. You got the running back going that way. You got the pullers coming back the other way. You can see You could see the hesitation for 9. Like, where is the football?
Yeah. And I could see actually, you see how this linebacker fits it? So here's how this is a good look at it. Run it back a little bit and freeze it right whenever that corner gets to the core. Right there. Well, it's kind of hard. So the corner should be outside this guy. Remember, he's when that motion goes across, if they're in cover 3, he should move to a C7. He's just inside that tight end who's washed all the way down now, but he should be right here. So corner's outside the first. You see this backer because he has to stay backside. If he crosses his face, there's going to be a huge seam right here for the running back. So this guy has to stay backside. Hammer by the corner. He comes and he goes right down the middle of the second puller, actually spills it, and that's where he should be right in that alley. See that?
Yep. It all has to fit together, man. Defense is hard.
And that's why you see 10, he's trusting. It looks like it's like, what the hell are you doing? Well, he's trusting that his safety is going to be right there to make that play. Bam.
Was not there to make that play. 21 can go. Also in the transfer portal. Interesting. Let's take a look at another gap scheme run. And this is, I think this is a good example of some of the stuff that Ben Arbuckle does when it comes to just spreading the defense out. And he does a nice job with all of that stuff. And here you're gonna get the fake toss action, and you're going to get GT counter, this left guard and left tackle coming back into the boundary. So you've got all of this action pulling the defense this way while you've got these pullers going the opposite way. It's very similar to the play we just looked at, but it's just a different way to get to the GT counter and to make it difficult on the defense.
Always a lot of the same concepts, but you have different players, doing different roles in kind of the same look.
Yeah. And Ted, do you think you see this edge guy similar to the play we just looked at? You see how the edge guy widens?
Mm-hmm.
I do wonder if he gets in the hip pocket of the left tackle on the pull. If Mateer, you see how he's got his eyes on him?
Yeah.
I wonder if he has the option to just toss it.
You know what's weird is I've seen this play run quite a bit, and I'm not sure I've seen anyone actually give the toss, but it has to be there, for people to honor it. So I probably so, but it's got to be, you'd think that has to be like almost an instant look for him. That's hard on that toss to know whether to actually give it or keep it. But if that's a read, then yeah, it just adds another element.
This is a great way. Remember, they're in 4 wide receivers. Only one back in the backfield. You've got 5 guys blocking. If you look at what Fresno State's in here, they're in a 6-man box.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you change the math as an offense? That's where QB run game becomes extremely important. And the fake toss action removes one of the guys from the picture. And now you've got 5-on-5. You've got a hat on a hat. And when you've got 5-on-5 and everyone covers their guy up, nice little first down run. Ooh, almost out. Almost had him with the stiff arm. But you see that first puller, that's called when a guy goes inside like that and tries to spill it. Usually as an offensive lineman, you say, hey, I logged him. Mm-hmm. You're either kicking out or you're logging. And so he logs him. Mateer, nice patience, waiting for that second puller to get around and get a piece. And that's a nice, effective first down run, right? First down run of what, 13?
Yeah. I really like it. Whenever you look at it from the defense's standpoint, I'll kind of show you where the tough conflict is. As I see it, this is cover 3, right? Deep third, deep third. So these are your four underneath players: flat player, flat player, and these two guys are your hook players. So if you're a flat player, any type of run, you got to hammer it back. You've got to turn everything back inside. So you got a hook player coming down to the field. This Mike backer right here, you have a hook player coming down. They do not need you over here. You've got numbers right there. The problem is if you get pullers going back, all these gaps coming to this side of the ball, because you're going to get a collision here. You're going to come down and get a hammer outside arm free here. The tough block is going to be this guy coming right here, and you got to get over the top of it. And they do a really good job messing with his feet and his eyes with that really wide toss. Look at him. Oh, no, you're done. It's over. You're sealed. See, you got a hook player over here. They don't need you. You got to see the pullers and follow your responsibility. Tough to do, though.
That's a watch. 79, that's good. He's on him. He's quick. But one of the things about, and you hear me talk about it all the time, Ted, don't push him away. Grab him. You see how he pushes him away? Like, I want you to strike, but don't press him away. Grab the guy.
And
grab and hold.
I like Mateer because almost like a punt returner. Watch how he stretches this guy a little out move, and watch that defender duck just outside enough, help set up that block for your puller and get on the inside of it. Really nice.
Yeah, he does. Mateer does a nice job. He clearly understands how to set blocks up, like where plays are supposed to hit. He just has a natural feel for some of this QB run game that they ran all season long, which is why he rushed for a boatload of yards and scored a boatload of touchdowns. So we'll see. We'll see what that young man's future holds. All right, let's get to two more plays of Ben Arbuckle building off of these gap scheme runs that he utilizes in his offense. But first,
who doesn't love a beefy deal during the holidays? At Didier Ranch, they are bringing their beef in a box full of deals. When you order, you'll get free shipping throughout the holidays. And if you use code Oklahoma15 at checkout, you'll also get 15% off your order. Get Oklahoma's finest beef when you order from Didier Ranch.
DidierRanch.com. Didier Ranch. Tradition tastes better. Look at us.
Love it.
RPO game off of the gap scheme run. This is not reinventing the wheel of any kind. It's another counter scheme. So in this one, you've got the offensive line blocking the run. You're running GY counter. At least that's what I call it. You've got this action. You've got the deuce block going to the backside backer. You're leaving two for the pullers. So this guard is the kick out guy on the counter concept. And then you've got the tight end inserting as your second puller here. And it's pretty clear to me, Ted, this is just, hey, if it's a 6-man box, hand it. If they get a seventh element in there, get your eyes on that seventh element. You can see Mateer looking right at that safety coming down into the box. And if he's there, throw it right in behind him. GY counter. Ted, I'm sure you love how far the left tackle is down the field. Let's not talk about it. Actually, you're the biggest proponent of a play like this because they rarely call it.
Yeah. Rarely. I mean, it's a shock if they ever call it. Hey, but here's the thing. I mean, if you're an offense and they're not going to call that, they're going to give a big grace period, good grace area, gray zone. You got to take advantage of it.
No doubt about it. Now it looks like he's got his eyes on this guy because remember, you've got 6 blockers. They've got 6 in this box in this 4-2 alignment. You get that 7th element in there. All of a sudden, the math is not on your side. And that's what the RPO game is designed to do, is when you are at a numbers disadvantage, if you were to hand it off, that's when you pull the ball And that's when you utilize the PO, the pass option. And it's a quick decision from Mateer here. And he does a nice job of being patient and letting his wide receiver get into that window
Yep.
because it takes him a little bit to run that in breaking route. He's patient, he pats it, and then rips it with confidence right in the middle of the field. Okay, prediction time. I'm not sure if you've seen this play before or not. What do you think happens?
I think he completes it, and I saw a little window. Breaks the first tackle, goes to the house. Oh, we get some good
What
convoy
about now?
blocking.
What do you think happens now? What's the prediction?
This is a key block right there. Oh,
Nothing but green turf, Ted.
love it.
There he goes. It's a really nice play, and it's simple stuff. There are all kinds of teams in college football that run this stuff, but one thing I like about the RPO game for Arbuckle is he takes some shots down the field off the RPO game where it's just, hey, does my best player have one-on-one on the outside? I don't care that we have a run called. Let's signal him, hey, run a go ball. They
Yep.
do that quite a bit. And then I like when RPO stuff, when you're attacking the middle of the field, because when you see the run action, like the inside backers, look at the inside backers. Like that is run. Like they are playing,
Yep.
they are trying to fit that GY counter play. And that leaves the middle of the field where those guys are supposed to be. If it was pass, like in their drop responsibilities, there's no one there. So
Yep.
with the RPO stuff, attack the middle of the field because that's who you're affecting most with this action.
Yeah. And I'll just kind of defensively how this is playing out. Again, another cover three look. Deep third, corner over there is deep third. So here's your four underneath defenders. Okay. You got your two outside, you got your flat player here, flat player's over the number two receiver. Okay. He's actually a D gap player. This guy's going to be playing the C gap. So what I love, and he knows it. He knows he's going to be the conflict player, and this is where game plan comes in. Okay, whenever they run cover three, the safety is going to come down to the tight end side because you can do it a bunch of different ways. You can have this guy kicked into the box and it's all rotated over. This guy right here kicked in. It's how you want to fit your four underneath to their core players. But he comes down. He knows he's going to be in conflict. So he's late, but he's in the run. This guy right here, he's late, but he's also in the run fit. Whenever he's down in the box, he has to help defend this play if they hand it. So you see him, he has to slow play it because he knows that he's going to get this slant here. And you talked about the timing. He's trying to defend this first window and does a really good job. Mateer it's that extra count to hit the second window over here on the other side of that hook, that flat player. That's tough. And it's a really good job by him.
Yeah. Nice throw. Guy's not afraid to cut it loose into the middle of the field. Oh, he breaks a tackle. Oh, he's going to get him. Get the legs. No.
Mm,
There he
no.
goes. There he goes. He's not worried. He doesn't think six is going to get him, Ted. Do you think we're going to get a Superman dive right here?
No, he's just going to walk in. Maybe a little,
Oh,
yeah, don't
just
have it.
just the pull up. Come on, Hawaii. What are we doing? Touchdown. Touchdown. Yeah,
Easy
raise the
money.
roof. Raise the roof.
Easy money.
One one play, just building off all the gap scheme run stuff. You've got to, once again, pre-snap motion. You see the guard pull action, but it's screen. So remember, it's all about building off your run concepts for me. Like I think that the best offensive coordinators build play action, build RPO, build screen game off of their core plays. And you see guard pull, Now it's a perfect call into they're bringing the pressure from the boundary. They throw the screen right into it. That's just maybe Arbuckle knew it was coming, but you see the guard, you see the guard's action, and you see this front side backer. He sees the pull, and he just hesitates for a count, right? And that's all you need. You need him to barely hesitate. That allows that left guard to get that down block and get on him, and it ends up being a massive play. Look at this splattering on the outside. Ooh,
Oh my God.
boom.
Yo. Dude, I love that left guard, the angle he takes. He knows where the play is going. So he doesn't try and come over here to the guy. He goes to the spot and then just shields him. That's a really nice job.
But it's really just, hey, we're presenting you the pulling guard. We run a bunch of gap scheme stuff. Oh, here comes the gap scheme run. You've got pre-snap motion taking you away from the screen as well. Everything is telling you the ball is going away from where it's going.
Yep.
And then we're just going to throw a quick screen. And we talked about it on our initial video about his breakdown, about when we broke down Arbuckle's offense. He got number two, the ball in a variety of ways. And it's because that guy can absolutely go.
See ya.
So you have all of this action building off your run concept, taking the defense's eyes away from the play, and then you just simply throw a quick screen to your best player. And there he goes. Is he going to get him?
No chance.
No. No.
He's already high stepping.
Yeah. Kyle Williams, I've said it before. I'll continue to say it. I really wish that guy had another year of eligibility.
Hey, and I'll tell you, I think, and may have mentioned this before, he's a guy, he transferred from UNLV and was a solid guy at UNLV, but wasn't like, I think he went for like 400, 500 yards for each of his 3 years there. Or maybe, yeah, it was 3 years there. And then he had two at Washington State and got better every year. And then last year, I guess this season, was 1,000-yard receiver, career highs in touchdowns, in yards, got way better when he went to this system. So that's a pretty good sign.
Put the guy completely horizontal. That's good stuff. That's good stuff right there. A lot of gap scheme runs, and he builds off it. RPO game, screen game, play action game. So hopefully you guys enjoyed getting to know Ben Arbuckle's offense a little more. We'll have a couple more of these videos looking at other aspects of the offense. If you really like this, you can go ahead and give us a super thanks down this way. But other than that, we'll see you next time here on In the Weeds.